Coleman is ready on this matchup to start Big 12 weekend. Number 2. Coleman is not going to waste any time. She was able to turn on a first pitch on Tuesday against Tarleton State for a leadoff home run, as both of these sides come off of doubleheader run rule sweeps on Tuesday. The Sooners took care of Tarleton State at their beautiful new complex, Loves Field. And the Red Raiders swept through New Mexico here at home as Wright starts with a rise ball after that foul tip, and the count moves to 1-1 here in the top of the first inning. Oh, a ho-hum .413 batting average for Jada Coleman. Top 10 USA Collegiate Player of the Year candidate last year as Coleman turns on this 1-1 out to center, but not hard hit enough as the freshman Logan Holloman makes the grab, and Holloman leads an outfield filled with speed with Ariana Villa in left and Demi Elder out in right. Abby Orrick, Reagan Jennings will be turning 2 up the middle for Texas Tech, with Kennedy Kreitz, the reliable veteran, back behind home plate. The Alabama transfer in Aubrey Barnhart over at first. And now we introduce you to the NFCA Player of the Week in Sydney Sanders. All she's done is pick up home runs in 5 straight games, 8 of them here in the month of March, as she'll take a good strike from Wright, who features about 65 to 67 miles an hour. There was a change, a rise, and a two-seam, which is a little similar to a screwball with a little bit more pace, as Wright misses high and the count moves to 1-1. Fly out for Coleman, 1 out here in the top of the first inning, with Ella Parker, the freshman, on deck here for Oklahoma. A Sooner team that will officially make the move to the SEC on July 1st. So this is the final time that these two teams will meet, and Texas Tech is hoping to relive some magic from 2011 and 2012, the last 2 times that the Red Raiders defeated this mammoth squad. As Sanders takes low, and Oklahoma coming off of a national championship win last season against Florida State. The 7th NCAA title for Gasso and company in her 30th season. Disposed in 3 tight matches last year in Norman. The Red Raider team a lot more improved as Sanders takes inside, and she'll work the 4-pitch walk here with 1 out in the first. Well, if you're just watching the Red Raiders for the first time this season, it has been a run of magic this year for Texas Tech. In the 2nd year under Craig Snyder, who had esteemed success at Florida State, Texas A&M as an assistant, as the freshman Ella Parker steps into the left-hand batter's box and takes outside. There's that two-seam. Red Raiders sit at 21-5. Started conference play last weekend in Provo with a bang. 10-5 win, and a 15-0 run rule victory on Friday before a tight loss 10-8 in the finale. So Texas Tech 2-1, Oklahoma 3-0, with 3 handled victories over Iowa State. The weekend for the Sooners, where they scored 29 runs and relinquished 3. 1-1 comes with a runner at first here with 1 out, and a strike is called. Plate umpire Christina Drum has Robert Gonzalez at first base, and Frederick Ewald over at third. Our umpire crew today as the freshman Parker swings on a good-looking rise ball on the inner half, and it evens the count. One out walk to Sanders, as Texas Tech sits with double play depth. A 2-strike delivery, misses low and outside. Parker goes the other way. It's scooped up by the freshman. 5-4, and the throw to first is errant on the fielder's choice. And what a debut to her Big 12 opener for McKenna Mitchell, who snags what had to have been about a 95-mile-an-hour swing off the bat of Parker, and she'll replace Sanders over at first here with 2 outs.
Now batting for the Sooners, number 33,
There's always that proverb, isn't it? When you get introduced to a game, whether it be midway through the action or making your first start in a massive moment, the ball will find you. So fielder's choice sets up Alyssa Brito, the power-hitting third baseman here with 2 outs in the first as she takes outside. Brito hitting .433 this season with 7 home runs, 7 doubles as well for an Oklahoma team that leads the conference with 48 long balls. Check swing on a good pitch on the outer half. I think Wright wanted that one and maybe should have gotten it. And the count moves to 2-0 here with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. The first of 3 here from Rocky Johnson Field. 1 o'clock tomorrow, noon on Sunday. There's a perfect changeup on 2-0, has Brito frozen in the count 2-1. Oklahoma had their unbelievable winning streak snapped at over 70 games to start the month of March in an extra inning loss to Louisiana, as Parker is going to take second on a throw that reaches center field. So Oklahoma's freshman at DP, don't let that mistake you. She shows off some speed with her 6th stolen bag this year, putting herself in scoring position here with 2 outs in the first inning for Brito. Maddie Wright, senior from Fort Worth. Certainly grown in her few months in Lubbock. As Brito works the walk. So without the pleasure of a base hit, Oklahoma has 2 on with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. This is where the Sooners are dangerous. You have Tiare Jennings hitting in the 5 spot.
Batting for the Sooners, number 23, Tiare Jennings.
Jennings hitting .397, 7 home runs as well, and she'll take a strike on the outer half. Jennings had home runs in all 3 games here in 2022. As the Red Raiders have not relinquished a run against Texas, or the Oklahoma Sooners, excuse me, have not relinquished a run against Texas Tech in their last 2 years, but things feel a little different this year, don't they? I know the Red Raider fans at home have seen a much different side of this Texas Tech ball club under Craig Snyder's regime. 1-1 to Jennings, and she'll squib it foul. First team All-American last season, made the move from second base to shortstop, did Jennings. California transplant out to Norman. So she'll have to be in battle mode here at 1-2. Wright looking for a clean top of the first. And Jennings laces one into the gap in right center. First hit for Oklahoma is an extra base hit. Jennings will cruise into second. Throw comes home, and the runner is out. Brito is gunned. And so Oklahoma gets a run here in the top of the first, but that's all as Texas Tech's defense stands tall. 1-0 Sooners. Bottom of the first, and we come back.
To an event operations staff window or at the marketing table.
We'll match up with an SEC transfer in Aubrey Barnhart out of Alabama, who leads things off for Texas Tech here in the bottom of the first inning. And Maxwell will feature a rise, drop, and change. Doesn't like to really shake things up horizontally. Is much more of an up and down spin pitcher. Can certainly get up there in the high 60s as well, as Barnhart rips one fair down the first base line, where Torres, transfer from Arizona State in her second season at Oklahoma, is able to fire to first as Alina Torres and Sydney Sanders mark the right side of the infield for Oklahoma, with Jennings and Brito over on the left side. Kinsey Hansen is back healthy after missing the doubleheader on Tuesday. County Bench Award winner back behind home plate as Ariana Villa in that vertical batting stance watches a pitch sail low to start her at-bat. Boone Coleman and the freshman Pickering from left to right in the outfield for Oklahoma, as the Sooners threatened to put up a crooked number in that top of the first, but a tremendous throw kept it at 1 on the RBI double by Tiare Jennings. It was 8-4-2 as the delivery by Reagan Jennings provided the assist to end the top of the first inning. Here's a wild one on 1-1. Hansen forced to pop out of that crouch with Ariana Villa, Kaylee Wyckoff following Barnhart. No Love, one of the best hitters in the conference, was unavailable today, hoping to get her back the rest of the weekend. Villa, the other way, what a grab by Brito! Robbery here at Rocky Johnson for the second out. And a player in Brito who has been under scrutiny. Had a couple errors earlier this season, including a pivotal one in extra innings against Louisiana that led to the 3-run eighth for the Raging Cajuns. But Brito and this Oklahoma defense ranks first in the Big 12 in fielding percentage, and there's why. As the Big 12 Freshman of the Year comes to the plate in Wiki, and as Kaylee takes low 1-0. Wyckoff has absolutely exploded in the month of March on a 7-game hitting streak, coming off of a career-high 4 RBIs and a home run in Game 2 against New Mexico Tuesday. Lefty-lefty 2-3 here for Texas Tech against the Southpaw, and then Abby Orrick bumped up to the cleanup spot for Craig Snyder's crew. Wyckoff hitting .410 to lead the surge here at the top of the lineup. Of course, Holloman .412 down in that 9 spot as Maxwell finds the zone 2-1. Kelly Maxwell coming off her 5th career no-hitter in a 5-inning shutout on Tuesday in Game 1 against Tarleton State. One of those no-hitters came against Texas Tech back in 2022. A member of Oklahoma State. Texas Tech hoping that a different jersey color for Kelly Maxwell can provide different results as they have struggled against the Southpaw. Big swing by Wyckoff and evens the count. Actually pushes it to 3-2, pardon me. So a run in the top of the first inning on the Jennings double. And Texas Tech make their mark here against Maxwell. The off pitch misses low, and Wiki works the walk. So Wyckoff the DP today, although a little bit of movie magic if you want to go behind the lights. Haley Wyckoff listed as the catcher and then switched just before the game started with Kreitz. What that does is it allows Kennedy Kreitz to be the technical DP for later game situations, as Abby Orrick riding a 7-game on-base streak. An absolute resurgence after a 2-11 campaign last year. Orrick hitting .301, 6 home runs, 12 extra base hits, and an opportunity here as Kinsey Hansen jogs out to talk to her grad senior. There's a pair of legends in the circle for Oklahoma, a team that has 24 wins, 1 loss, but the RPI not quite as high as you would expect. With Texas Tech's RPI at 27, Oklahoma's sits outside the top 5, but inside the top 10, fluctuating every day. Seniors have picked up wins over Duke and Washington in the top 10. As Orrick swings over a rise ball by Maxwell, and the count moves to 1-1. Three tight losses in Norman last year, 3-0, 6-0, and 7-0. The Texas Tech offense ready to unload after a massive weekend in Provo, scoring 33 runs as Orrick rips one up the middle. Waiting there is Jennings, and she'll go the short way to Torres. A clean first inning for Maxwell as she works around the 2-out walk. We take a break, head to the second. Here at Rocker Right, she has a 2.0 ERA with 30 strikeouts and just 13 walks. Leading the way for A rejuvenated Texas Tech pitching staff that had to say goodbye to a legend last year, and Mackenzie Herzog also lost Kendall Fritz. And all that Snyder has done is reload. As Kinsey Hansen fouls off the 1-0 pitch. We will see, assumably, the full unloading of Texas Tech's pitching prowess with the former Sooner and Olivia Raines, who has had a remarkable turnaround. Maddie Keel has had an incredible season as well. And this is the true test. Texas Tech knows that their entire season does not ride in the balance of this series, but it can certainly be a measuring stick. One pitch to Hansen. She'll foul it off after missing the doubleheader on Tuesday against Tarleton State. Kinsey Hansen, all systems go as she sits one home run away from jumping into the top 10 all-time. 55 home runs for the member of the USA national team. One of the hardest hitters to strike out as well, with just 5 Ks and 59 ABs, as Maddie Wright will continue to change speeds. And talking to different members around the conference, coaches seem to really point to the Maddie Wright addition as an X factor, as a changeup is driven to deep right field. Back is Elder, warning track, whoa, and there it is. Hansen's 56th home run puts her in 10th all time. And the Sooners jump ahead 2-0. Just left the off speed a little up in the zone, but you have to tip your cap to a professional AB from Hansen, who fouled off a couple great pitches by Wright, and I think that face says it all. Can't be too upset with solo home runs. Those are okay against a team like Oklahoma. 49th of the year for the Sooners, as Cassidy Pickering, power hitting freshman, steps into the left-hand batter's box. You have to imagine that Maddie Wright will live with solo shots and hope that her offense can keep pace. Similar to what we saw in Game 3 in Provo, and Tech nearly came all the way back, down 10-8. Had the tying run on base as well. Pickering, right at Villa, and a hard hit out number 1 here in the second. Well, we go back to the resilience of Texas Tech in the finale against BYU. The Red Raiders led 2-0. BYU pushed the lead to 6-2. Texas Tech tied it 6-all before BYU scored 4 in the 6th to take a 10-6 lead. Wyckoff homered in the 7th. And the Red Raiders would load the bases, score a run on a walk, and battle until the very last out. And that's exactly what you can take to the bank with Craig Snyder's ball clubs. As Wright misses low on a changeup to Alina Torres. Torres is a senior, transferred a few years ago from Arizona State. He's hitting .378 this season. In fact, all 9 of the Oklahoma starters are hitting over .350. Three and 1 the count here with 1 out in the second. Leadoff home run by Hansen. This is ripped right into the glove of McKenna Mitchell, and the freshman has now made 2 dazzling plays over at the hot corner. That smile says it all from the Santa Fe native. Staying in state at Texas Tech, and Maddie Wright is beaming with joy as well.
Number 0, Riley Boone.
As the 9-hitter, the speedster, and Riley Boone comes to the plate. Preseason all Big 12 left fielder. Hitting .417 this year, and 2 very similar 9-hitters, albeit one a veteran in Boone, a senior. But we'll see Logan Holloman in the 9 spot for Texas Tech, and boy, does she have a bright, bright future with the Red Raiders. Slap look by Boone, and she'll take a strike on 1-0. Going the other way, off the glove of Mitchell. She has time and delivers. And McKenna Mitchell with a Golden Glove at third sends us to the bottom of the second. Oklahoma leading by 2 here in Lubbock.
Hey fans, cement your place in Texas Tech football history with the purchase of an engraved brick.
And so Demi Elder, the 5-hitter in the lineup for Texas Tech, leads off the second against Kelly Maxwell. And for those that may not have been locked in this softball season, there was a rule change, and a big one this offseason, that allowed the crow hop or launch off of the rubber. No longer do pitchers have to keep that trail foot dragging on the dirt, otherwise known as the Jordy Ball rule, most recently. As Ball transferred after winning another championship back to her home state of Nebraska, but unfortunately is out for the season. Also a 20-second pitch clock this year, which has certainly sped things up, but also thrown a little bit of controversy into the mix, which is always fun. As Elder takes inside, 2-1 the count here to start the second inning for Texas Tech. Christina Drum, Robert Gonzalez, and Frederick Ewald, our umpire crew this weekend. With the freshman combo of Jennings and Mitchell to follow, Elder's able to poke one to right. So no-hitter here for Kelly Maxwell, who allows her first hit in the last 8 innings. Texas Tech is hoping to snap a runless streak as well, as Maxwell comes off of a 7-inning shutout on opening weekend of Big 12 play against Iowa State. As we introduce you to the freshman second baseman Reagan Jennings. 381 hitter at the plate for Jennings with a pair of long balls. She'll chase that first pitch. An aggressive hitting team. A Texas Tech Red Raider ball club that is second in the nation in doubles with 53. Top 10 in the country with 35 home runs as well after that incredible 74 home run season a year ago that set a new Red Raider record. Elder at first, plenty of speed, and she was off as the rise ball fouled back. Not the worst idea to test Hansen, who is coming off of an illness. Curious to see how 100% she really is. Oh, misses low from Kelly Maxwell, the second-team All-American a year ago. 229 strikeouts in 142 innings in Stillwater. Now the 1-2 here with nobody out. Driven deep, left center field. Jennings gets a lot of it, and the one hops the wall. Double, number 54. No, she'll be held to a single. Great defense by Oklahoma as Elder had to hold, and Texas Tech has 2 on here with nobody out in the second. That seemed to be a situation where the All-American Coleman did such a good job disguising that she may have a play on it. Forced Elder to go halfway, and now McKenna Mitchell in a potential bunt situation here for the freshman who has just 11 at-bats this year. Bunt? Says who? An aggressive team like Texas Tech, no thoughts of bunting there. Count 1-0. Mitchell out of Santa Fe High School here in Texas, as time is called. Got her only other start against Merrimack back on March 2nd here at home. Has hits against Minnesota and BYU, but none would be bigger than this one. Here with nobody out and 2 on in the second. Maxwell able to fire one on the outside corner for strike 1. This is the second time that Hansen has come out to chat with Maxwell. So using one of those designated timeouts. Talking to Coach Gasso yesterday, she really emphasized the toughness it takes to make a change so late in your career, because Kelly Maxwell, of course, makes the move, deals with a different coaching staff, a new pitching coach. Jen Rocha, one of the legends in the game. Went from Florida to Oklahoma 6 years ago. As this pitch misses inside, called a strike. You can see the frustration of Elder, not happy with that strike zone. Earned one by her for strikeout number 1. And when you talk to Gasso, she had only good things to say about the development of Maxwell here in the last month. And of course, 13 consecutive scoreless innings. Not too bad of a sign. As Kennedy Kreitz, senior DP and catcher, comes to the plate. Kreitz will swing at the first pitch, coming off of a 1-for-2 doubleheader on Tuesday. Pair of base hits to start the second inning here for Texas Tech. Kreitz and Holloman on deck. One the count. You know, Elder, the aggressive base running over at second. Keeping an eye on anything in the dirt. Texas Tech looking for their first win over a #1 team since 1998 when they beat Arizona. They'll have 3 chances at it this weekend as Kreitz goes down in a absolute filthy drop ball. Picks up out number 2 here in the second inning as you take a look at Roya St. Clair. Michigan stand out in their second year on the coaching staff for Texas Tech. He is certainly one that deserves a lot of praise alongside the Guru and Snyder for the offensive turnaround for Texas Tech as Logan Halleman, the Flower Mound native, hitting .412, takes strike 1. Here's a key opportunity. You've got the top of the lineup on deck in Barnhart. Can't get much filthier than that. Maxwell 1 strike away from working out of a jam. Oh, 2. Dribbled fair, tough play for Maxwell, she'll flip in time. A tremendous play from the back to the top of the lineup for Boomer Sooner as Jada Coleman leads things off against Maddie Wright here on the Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Daniel Gilman with you. So happy that you've chosen to join us here on this Friday evening. Overcast and windy, per usual, here in Lubbock in March. But we're hoping to see some sun this weekend as Coleman takes high and inside. Jada flew out to deep center in her first at-bat. Coleman had 2 home runs in Game 2 of this series last year in Norman. A 6-0 win behind a Jordy Ball one-hit shutout. That's a pitcher's pitch. Count 3-1. So a 5-pitch walk starts the 3rd inning for Oklahoma. And you know what they say about leadoff walks is Maddie Wright is hoping to find a way to answer a problem that nobody has been able to, and that's getting Sydney Sanders out. Sanders, who was named Big 12 Player of the Week. And a couple hours later, NFCA Player of the Week. Had 4 hits against Iowa State, all of them home runs. She'll take a pretty good-looking pitch, called a ball on the inner half. Two and 1 the count to the power-hitting Arizona State transfer who had 22 home runs her freshman year out in Tempe. And went through a little bit of a learning curve, and that's something Coach Gasso talked to me about as well. And Sydney finally says she's feeling free, and that's a word that Patty Gasso is happy to hear. And I asked if Sanders was seeing beach balls out there, and Gasso said she's not sure she's heard that one before. Well, I've certainly heard it from players who are locked in, and that's exactly what Sanders has been doing. 2 home runs in February, 8 in March, as Wright is showing no fear. Again, attacking the zone, and the count runs full. The off pitch is low, and a pair of walks start the 3rd inning. That was the only thing that Wright struggled with at BYU. On Friday, 5 shutout innings in the run rule win with no walks, 4 strikeouts for Maddie Wright. But Saturday, 3 walks in 2 innings, leading to 4 runs. And Ella Parker will come to the plate following a fielder's choice and a run scored in the 1st. She takes a strike on the outer half. Now the strike zone suiting the eye of Maddie Wright. As Ella Parker, the number 3 recruit in the country, the niece of Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager. Certainly comes from baseball, softball family. She is having one heck of a week. 7 hits this week in the series over Iowa State and Tarleton State. Maddie Wright is hoping to find that strikeout pitch here with the 1-2 delivery. And she'll get it. Painting the inside perimeter. Huge out number 1. for Texas Tech. So you get through Parker. Let's take a look at JT Gasso, elevated to the associate head coach position alongside Rocha. You get greeted with Alyssa Brito, who was thrown out at home to end the first inning after walking. Check swing one over to second. Jennings has to hurry and flips with the glove. Both defenses making it look easy here on this Friday evening. And there's 2 outs as both runners move 60 feet. So it's Tiare Jennings coming to the plate.
And for the Sooners, number 23, Tiare Jennings.
Jennings, who stroked an RBI double in the right center field gap, ended the first inning. A tremendous throw by her named twin, and Reagan Jennings. On 2 is another off speed, and that is what's working for Maddie Wright this season. There's a reason why her ERA is sub 2.5. Wright has buckled down with 2 outs, an opponent batting average of .212. Needing to keep this game in the balance as Jennings takes low and outside. The home run hitter and Hansen waits on deck. Kreitz is ready, so is Wright. As the 2-2 fools Jennings on a rise ball that evens the count. So 1 strike away from tiptoeing out of a jam with a pair of walks. Sitting on second and third, and Coleman and Sanders. 2-2 dribbled foul. There's Patty Gasso, the Hall of Famer. Won co-coach of the year in the Big 12 last season for the 11th straight year. Sorry, final year. Now this year, as Oklahoma heads to the SEC, looking to make their lasting mark here in the Big 12. 29 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. Nearing 400 Big 12 wins for Gasso. Jennings, well early on that changeup. And if you're right, I don't think I want to speed up that bat. Jennings, who has hit over 400 in all 3 seasons. 406 here this year. Another 2-2. This has barrel written all over it, and it's gone. The 8th home run of the season for Tiare Jennings explodes the lead to 5. And that's what Oklahoma does to you. Making you pay for walks. We can hear the support that has made the trek down. There's the crooked number with a 3 spot here in the 3rd. Maddie Wright, 1 strike away. So many pitchers have faced that fate. And Coach Gasso is thinking about making a change, and you wonder if Hansen's day is done. Now that the game has ballooned a bit, and it is. As the Furman transfer, Riley Ludlam will pinch hit. This is no slouch at the plate either. Ludlam, the SoCon Player of the Year last season, All-Region. Three for 3 on Tuesday. game 2. She takes 1-0. Not sure how that missed. And the count 2-0. Jennings just loves to play here at Rocky Johnson, doesn't she? 4 home runs in her last 4 games for Tiare Jennings here in Lubbock. And a 3-run 3rd inning for Oklahoma. So a 4-pitch walk follows as Ludlam works her way on here with 2 outs.
Batting for the Sooners, number 7, Cassidy Pickering.
So it brings up Cassidy Pickering, who lined out sharply to Villa in her first at-bat, as Kripes will come out to the circle. The at-bat to Pickering starts with a ball. A Texas Tech offense that is more than capable of scoring themselves, averaging 7 runs a game. There's 3 hits for Oklahoma. 3 key walks have plagued Maddie Wright. 2 of them have come in to score. The count now 2-1. Pickering will lift this foul and a look at this sold-out Rocky Johnson complex. No one there looks any cold, do they? The smart ones brought blankets. Now the 2-2 to Pickering fills the count and will send Ludlam off with the next pitch. Top of the lineup for Texas Tech, due up in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Barnhart, Villa, and Wyckoff. This is ripped out to right, and the 4th hit for Oklahoma extends the 3rd inning. But look at this, caught in a pickle. The freshman runs herself out of the inning. And so for the 2nd time today, Oklahoma for Texas Tech here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, as the number 1 team in the nation has shown why. Here through 2.5, Kelly Maxwell, another off-season transfer addition for Coach Gasso. Got out of a 2-on, nobody out jam in the 2nd, and then Tiare Jennings with a 3-run blast in the 3rd. How about Texas Tech's defense? Twice this game, the Red Raiders have thrown out a Sooner on the base paths to end the inning. That keeps this game within reach as Barnhart rips one foul on the count 1-2. Maxwell struggled to start the month of March, allowed 3 runs against Liberty, and then 3 runs against Louisiana in the Oklahoma Sooners' lone loss this year. But then the bounce back came against Iowa State with a 7-inning shutout gem. 4 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts, and then the no-hitter in 5 innings on Tuesday. This is barreled and just foul down the right field line. Barnhart rolls over on one to Sanders. She'll deliver it herself for out number one. So we'll have to wait till next at bat to see if Barnhart can continue her home run streak that has lasted 3 games.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, 0-0, Ariana
So
Villa.
Ariana Villa will come to the plate after being absolutely hosed by a delicious catch by Brito in the first. Had extra bases written all over it as Ariana takes a strike. Looking rise, ball 0-2. Into battle mode goes Villa, who has certainly cut down on the strikeouts. Just 6 punch-outs and 75 at-bats for the senior. Been excited to call this weekend series, having been a part of broadcast over the last 3 years, to see the growth of Villa. This was maybe overframed back there by Ludlam. Potentially could have had strike 3 if she just kept the glove where it was thrown. Tried to bring it up a little bit, and so the at-bat continues. 1-2 the count here with 1 out in the 3rd. Almost the same pitch. Once again, Ludlam tries to bring it up. Does not get the call. Always tough to be a catcher off the bench. You have to reintroduce yourself. You have to build a chemistry with the home plate umpire that Hansen had presumably done. 2-2, lifted into center field. Coleman is there, and there's 2 outs. And so Wiki, the final chance here in this 3rd inning.
For the Red Raiders, number 13,
What a freshman year it was last season. Nearly hitting 400 with 9 home runs and 15 doubles for Wyckoff, who changed her allegiance when Craig Snyder got the job at Texas Tech, and we have seen the prowess of Snyder's recruiting abilities, with the 2024 recruiting class ranked 2nd in the nation, putting Texas Tech on the map with an RPI of 27 as Wyckoff pops one to Brito, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Maxwell. Olivia Raines takes over for Texas Tech here in the 4th inning as the former Oklahoma Sooner comes into the circle and spells the evening for Maddie Wright. As the final line for Wright sits 3 innings, 5 runs, 4 hits, and 5 walks costly. But Raines has turned a leaf here into this junior season. A 6-0 record, matching her career high. 23 strikeouts, 12 walks in 40 innings as Alina Torres chases this foul, and the count 1-2. Raines, the senior out of Pryor, Oklahoma, spent her freshman season leading the Sooners to the championship over Florida State. Even pitched an inning in the championship series. And moved over to Lubbock as Torres runs into one to center. That's gone. 2nd home run of the year for Alina Torres, and she welcomes Raines with a bash. The Sooners have now hit 3 home runs, bumping their season total to 51. The lead is 6-zip. Now back to Rain. She did pitch in Oklahoma last year, had 2 pretty good outings. Threw a clean inning in the opener, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, as Riley Boone fouls it off. And then game 3 of the series, Rains came in, threw an inning and a third, allowing just 1 run. So Rains hoping that she can shake off that leadoff home run. I'll make a guess and say that we'll see Maddie Keel and Nicole May as the starting pitchers tomorrow. A 1 o'clock first pitch, followed by a nooner on Sunday. Fly ball left field, and Dia is there for out number 1. So we head to the top of the lineup for Oklahoma as they will face Olivia Rains for the first time here tonight. You want to know how chilly it is?
Now batting for the Sooners.
Look at those fans in the first row.
Coleman.
As Jada Coleman comes to the plate, a walk and a run on the Jennings home run last inning. Rains can get up there, about 66 to 68 miles an hour, features the drop and change mixture. Both pitches look very similar coming out of that tunnel, and that's what has helped Olivia Rains fool hitters all year long. Has been working on getting rid of her screwball and curve, as so many pitchers around the league have done. And really around the country. I did Tennessee and Clemson last week, a top 10 duel, and talking to both coaches about their pitching staffs. Neither really mentioned much of a curveball, screwball arsenal. A little old-fashioned as Coleman delivers with a base hit up the middle here with 1 out. I remember when I started covering the sport, the go-to pitchers, the Kelly Barnhills, the Paige Lowrys, would really focus on that curved screw and then use the change and the rise ball and the drop vertically as the strikeout pitch. But now, pitchers these days have really kept things vertical. Sydney Sanders has walked both times today. "17 walks this season, 17 hits this season. She'll take 2-0. That looked like a strike at the knees. Instead, the count 3-0. Fans certainly wanted it as well here in Lubbock. So 4-pitch walk puts 2 on here in the top of the 4th inning with 1 out for Oklahoma. The Sooners will head back home midweek against UT Arlington on Wednesday, and then hosting Baylor Friday, Saturday, Sunday. While Texas Tech heads out to Iowa to take on the Cyclones Friday. And back here against UCF in 2 weekends. As first pitch swinging, freshman Ella Parker fouls it off. I think that fan has had 2 chances. Gotta bring your glove, folks. There's no shame in it, especially on a cold day. It works as warmth. There's a pitcher's pitch on the outer half, and Rains jumps ahead 0-2. Squibber to Jennings. Quick throw to short, and a heads-up play by the freshman to get the lead runner on the fielder's choice for out number 2. Coleman moves 60 feet away from scoring. Alyssa Brito, who's 0 for 1 at the plate.
33, Alyssa Brito.
High changeup is not something that you want to throw when a hitter's expecting it, but to start an at-bat, that's a terrific call from the coaching staff, the new pitching coach in Bryce DeColve. Spent 2 years as the grad assistant at Florida State. As a lofty fly ball sends Elder to the warning track, and she'll make the grab. As Raines comes in and strands a pair, but Oklahoma strikes again on another leadoff home run. This time it's Alina Torres. Hitting comes here on the Big 12 now on ESPN+, and Kelly Maxwell is back out for another inning of work. Abby Orrick, Demi Elder, Reagan Jennings here for Texas Tech, their second time through the lineup as Orrick takes outside. And it was Elder and Jennings that got the party started in the second inning, but a misread fly ball prevented Jennings from picking up a double. Red Raiders stranded a pair. Only 2 base hits today for Texas Tech as Maxwell evens the count at 1-1. Meanwhile, a change in defense has been made for Oklahoma, and the sophomore Avery Hodge has taken over for Torres at second. So Hodge at second. Ludlam behind home plate, who came in the third inning for Hansen. High chopper off the plate, and with a ton of English on it, it'll tail foul. Orrick went 2 for 3 with an RBI against New Mexico on Tuesday, but swings through a pitch from Maxwell, and Kelly gets her 3rd strikeout. The 2 clutch strikeouts for Maxwell came in the second inning, 2 on and nobody out, on a rally that was started by Demi Elder, who comes to the plate here. Elder, the junior right fielder, bumped her batting average up to .345. With the single in the second, and a lefty-lefty duel. Not afraid to take as Elder comes chasing after that first pitch once again. And Demi, who had a revelation year last year, hit .271 with 21 RBIs. That remarkable home run to cap off the miracle comeback against Baylor deep into the night for those that remember that game. One. This is outside 2-1. Another change has been made in the field as Hannah Core has come into right field for Pickering. Core, the sophomore who picked up her first hit on Tuesday as a Sooner. And it was a home run to boot against Tarleton State. Meanwhile, Elder, who fell behind in the count 0-1, has taken 3 consecutive pitches out of the zone. So on a hitter's count on 3-1, Maxwell challenges and finds the zone to fill the count. Kelly Maxwell, 7-0 this season. Has 6 appearances out of the bullpen as well as the 7 starts. But misses outside here. And And so the speed and Elder will reach base for the second time today on Maxwell's second
Now
walk.
batting for the Red Raiders, number 14, Reagan
Leads into
Jennings.
the freshman second baseman, Reagan Jennings, who had a whale of a doubleheader on Tuesday. 3 hits and 6 at-bats with a pair of RBIs and a double. Jennings, who has taken over that second base position, chases her eyes ball 0-1. Making her 14th start of the year here in game number 27 for the Red Raiders. In fact, both teams in game number 27. Oh, and 2. With another freshman in Mitchell waiting on deck. And so again, back to the rise ball. And Maxwell disposes of Jennings with 3 pitches, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th. Walk-up song for McKenna Mitchell.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number
Has
21,
displayed
McKenna Mitchell.
excellence with her glove today. 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Maxwell. She'll go around on the check swing for 0-1. Mitchell filling in for Riley Love, who is potentially expected back tomorrow. Love, who leads the conference in home runs and RBIs. As a take on 0-2 with Elder at first and 2 outs. Maxwell looking to expand her shutout streak to 16 consecutive innings. And she will. Striking out the side and working around a 1-out walk is Kelly Maxwell. And we head to the 5th inning where Jennings, Ludlum, and Core will come to the plate for Oklahoma next. The second inning of work here for Olivia Raines as we welcome you back to Rocky Johnson Field. TRA Jennings leads things off, who is having a ball, as she usually does in Lubbock. 2 for 2 with an RBI double and a 3-run blast for Jennings. TRA had home runs in all 3 games here in 2022. 3-run rule wins for Oklahoma. But last season, Tech forced the Sooners to do something they don't do often against unranked teams, which is play 7 innings in all 3 games of the series. The count moves to 3-1 here from Raines. After Maddie Wright walked 5, Olivia Raines walks her second Sooner today. And there really is no answer to how to attack this Oklahoma lineup. You want to pinch corners, but they have golden eyes. Then you challenge them, and well, we see what that results with. 3 home runs hit today as Riley Ludlum makes her second plate appearance. The Furman transfer takes low and inside. After a walk against Wright back in the 3rd inning. Here's a double play ball out to short. Orick will fire to second, a chance, but Ludlum runs well for a catcher. So a fielder's choice replaces Jennings over at first base. And there is certainly one thing to say today, and that is Texas Tech's defense has not given away anything. In fact, if you were to calculate WAR in this contest, have to believe that the Red Raiders would be saving runs with their defense thus far. Let's see what Coach Gasso will do here. Hannah Core replaced Cassidy Pickering in the bottom of the fourth. And intuition would guess that maybe there is a re-entry here. And instead, we'll have a pinch hitter. So instead of Core or Pickering, it'll be Quincy Lilio.
The Sooners, number 43, Quincy Lilio.
Redshirt sophomore from Southern California. Lilio will look to bunt and take outside. Two for 13 on the season for Lilio, who had a plate appearance in each of the two games against Tarleton State. She'll take to even the count 1-1. Now Avery Hodge is due up on deck, or potentially a re-entry from Torres as Lilio runs into one to left. Villa is there and will make the grab for out number 2 here in the 5th inning. So the win not necessarily blowing out as much as it did 2 years ago in this matchup. And if you remember, Jocelyn Allo had the 3 home run game. Felt like anything up in the air was going to be a long ball. And there's a look at our flags. And at the moment, no win. So Avery Hodge will come in to replace Torres in the field last inning. Sophomore from Richmond, Texas. Played in the Japan All-Star Series with the USA Senior Women's National Team. Hodge, who did not play much last season, made 3 starts, primarily as a pinch runner. She'll take low and outside 2-1. This season, 7 hits and 24 at-bats for Hodge. On a check swing, pop-up, challenges the third baseman, and the freshman Mitchell is there. And Raines, with a clean 5th inning, gives Texas Tech the opportunity. Back here at Rocky Johnson Field, I'm Daniel Gilman, happy to be with you. Appreciate the patience here on this pass-through broadcast of Big 12 softball. A busy night around the conference. In fact, Texas Tech softball and men's basketball playing the #1 team in the nation right now. Oklahoma up 6-0. Kennedy Kreitz taken inside. Up in the Big 12 tournament semifinals. Texas Tech down by 8 against Houston. Out the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. So for those that are watching on a dual screen, we appreciate you. And for those locked in, especially the Sooner faithful, we know it's not quite all the levels of a broadcast you expect, but we appreciate nonetheless. Kelly Maxwell continues to lock in. Thus far, 4 innings of 2-hit softball with a couple walks, but 5 Ks for Maxwell. One of them against Kreitz as the 2-2 delivery misses inside. No, it rings her up. A late call by the home plate umpire there. And Christina Drum shows off that punch, and there's 1 out.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, number 7, Logan Holloman.
That's a 3rd consecutive strikeout, 6 overall for Maxwell, who struck out 16 Red Raiders in a no-hitter back in 2022. Struck out 9 last year here in a 5-inning shutout as Logan Holloman takes a strike. Holloman grounded out to Maxwell on a nifty play to end the 2nd inning and strands a pair. She'll look to bunt and take outside. Boone, Coleman, Sanders. 2 up in the top of the 6th inning for the Sooners, as Halliman looks to turn this lineup around with Barnhart on deck. This is a bunt. Well done as Ludlam fires in time. And that is a terrific play by the Furman transfer over to Sanders with the stretch to get the speedy freshman for out number 2. Talk about pop-up time
number 24,
and a cannon.
Barnhart.
So the Alabama transfer in Barnhart, who played just a couple games last season for the Crimson Tide. Red Raider Nation more than happy to have Barnhart at the top of the lineup, though. Hitting .345 with 4 home runs, including a leadoff home run on Tuesday and another one in Game 2. There's a home run swing, and the count moves to 0-2. Texas Tech looking for their 3rd hit, but it won't come here. Barnhart chases and climbs the ladder as we head to the 6th inning, and Kelly Maxwell is dealing here in Lubbock. Be right back. You're on the Big 12 now on ESPN+.
Now for the Sooners, number 0, Riley Boone.
Top of the 6th inning, and the Boones coming in from the Sooner faithful as she'll chase a rise ball, and a quick 4-3 putout starts this 6th inning for Olivia Raines, who has bounced back from a leadoff home run in the 4th inning to Torres. Raines has now retired
Sooners, number 24,
4 straight, and 6 of her last 7. As Jada Coleman comes to the plate. A walk, a run, and a single for the leadoff hitting senior. This year is a really special year for both of these teams. A ton of veterans. Of course, a chance for Coleman and Brito and Jennings and Hanson and Maxwell and May to finish their career with a bang. As Villa finds the warning track and makes the grab shy of the wall for out number 2 as Coleman put a run into it. On the other side of things, Texas Tech has an opportunity to reach the NCAA tournament for the first time under Craig Snyder. The Red Raiders sit at 27th in the RPI, highest that they have been since 2019. A matchup here with number 9 Oklahoma, then you face Iowa State, who's 109. But after that weekend, there is only one game, and that's Abilene Christian, that will be against a team outside of the top 50 in the RPI. Sydney Sanders takes a changeup, and Raines jumps ahead in the count 1-2. UCF is 48, Kansas 34. Baylor is 8, Houston 36. And Oklahoma State and Texas both in the top 10, and that's where Texas Tech will finish their year, as usual, with a tough conference schedule. There's ball 3 down low to Sanders. Sydney has walked in all 3 at-bats. Scored a run back in the 3rd inning. There's a changeup to fill the count 3-2. But for the 4th time today, Sydney Sanders will walk, and there is one clear message that is being shadowed out. That is Texas Tech will not let the hottest player on the team beat them today, as a pinch hitter comes to the plate.
Batting for the Sooners, number 27,
in the form of Hannah Core. And so Hannah Core, who has replaced Ella Parker, which pushes Pickering to the DP spot. Now we're trying to play catch-up. Core has been the right fielder for the past few innings. first collegiate hit. A long ball to extend the lead over Tarleton State on Tuesday. And if Raines can get through this inning, it would be a tremendous outing thus far, and she will. A line drive to Elder sends us to the bottom of the sixth. 3 innings of work with 1 run allowed by Olivia Raines keeps this game well within reach. We'll come back and see Villa here in the weekend opener between Oklahoma and Texas Tech. We're happy to be with you here on the Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus for the final series between Oklahoma and Tech before the Sooners head off to the SEC in July. As Ariana Villa takes low and inside, Kelly Maxwell has faced 19 hitters. 4 of them have reached base. A couple walks and a couple hits allowed thus far from the Oklahoma ace. And the Sooners, who have lived on transfer pitchers over the past 7-8 years. Feels like it all started back in 2016, 2017. You added Paige Parker and then Paige Lowry from Missouri. That led to back-to-back titles. There's a good-looking pitch on 2-0. And over the last 3 years, we have seen the carousel of the best pitchers in the country just waiting in line to file into Norman as Villa fouls off the 2-1 pitch. And why wouldn't you? Of course you'd want to play. Beautiful new stadium, Loves Field. You get to play at home in the Big 12 tournament. You get to play at home in the Women's College World Series. What an amazing venue it is. I was there back in 2017. Got to see the Crimson Craze, as they call it. When Oklahoma beat my Gators in 17 innings in the longest Women's College World Series championship game ever. And funny enough, I was the radio broadcaster as a senior at UF. Good spoil here by Villa, who had a long at-bat against Maxwell back in the 3rd. 0 for 2 with a couple hard-hit balls here in the 2 spot. So Oklahoma has reloaded once again with a couple arms from the transfer portal. Grad senior and Carly Keening from Liberty. And Peyton Monticelli from Wisconsin as Villa works the walk, and that is a tremendous at-bat. Over there with the former Florida State All-American Morgan Claveman, the assistant coach for Tech.
Red Raiders, number 13, Kaylee
Red Raiders
Wyckoff.
are ready to get on this scoreboard as time is called here before Kaylee Wyckoff's at-bat. So Ludlam takes that opportunity to chat with her fellow grad senior. The pinch runner will come for Villa. J.C. Hamlin, the senior speedster. Hoping to crack through on the scoreboard with an extra base hit here from Wiki.
The Red Raiders, number 22, J.C. Hamlin.
A walk in the 1st inning and a pop out in the 3rd for Wyckoff. Can Tech get their biggest hits of the game here as Kaylee takes inside? Meanwhile, Hodge, who took over for Torres at 2nd, has now been replaced by Lilio. The 3rd Sooner second baseman here in the 6th inning. Better high strike. Maxwell gets the call, and it's 1-1. This comes in and hits her in the back of the hamstring. That's not a spot you get hit by pitches often. Luckily for Wyckoff, it was an off speed. And just the 2nd hit by pitch of the season for Kelly Maxwell. Has 2 on with nobody out for Abby Orring. Debbie Elder will have a quick chat with her fellow veteran. again, Ludlam will come out. See if Jen Rocha will accompany them. As the Oklahoma Sooner bullpen gets going, you can see the legs up top. There is the absolute legend. You talk about 2017, former Florida Gators pitching coach Jen Rocha goes back to her alma mater in Norman. And all she has done in 6 seasons is win 3 championships. So Texas Tech has a chance here. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2 on, nobody out. The 4-hitter and Abby Orrick at the plate. Orrick grounded out in the 1st, struck out in the 4th.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, number 11, Abby Orrick.
Orrick has had a revolutionary season. 6 home runs, 21 RBIs. First pitch is a tremendous stop by Ludlam. Runners at 1st and 2nd here with nobody out for the Red Raiders. A walk to Villa, Wyckoff hit by a pitch. Count 2-0. Maxwell with an opponent batting average of under 200 this season. Looking for a semblance of the strike zone, and she has lost it. Only 2 strikes thrown this inning from Maxwell, and the count 3-0 to Orrick, who seemingly will keep that bat on her shoulder here for the 3-0. Strike delivered by Maxwell. Opportunities do not come better than this one. Texas Tech looking for a big inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And it is low and outside, and the bases are loaded for the Red Raiders. 3rd free pass of this 6th inning.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, number 2, Demi
along the
Elder.
leashes for Patty Gasso. Who has the full arsenal of a bullpen as Demi Elder, who has reached both times against Maxwell, comes to the plate. Elder will take a strike on the outer half. Fans not happy about that one. Count 0-2. Hamlin at 3rd, Wyckoff at 2nd, Orrick at 1st. So speed all over the base paths for Tech. Demi Elder is hitting 1,000 this season with the bases loaded. Can she continue that trend? An OPS of over 1,000. And a key opportunity here on the 0-2. It nearly hits her. 1-2 the count. Talked earlier about Elder's home run against Baylor. What would a big swing do to the crowd here? Again, it almost hits her, and it's called strike 3. Late moving action from Maxwell, and she'll get the call for out number 1.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, number 14, Reagan Jennings.
8th strikeout for Maxwell. It'll bring up Reagan Jennings. Jennings hitting 386. Another Red Raider with OPS numbers over 1,000 as she takes outside, knowing full well that a walk will bring in the Red Raiders' first run. 1-1 the count, as Kelly Maxwell has worked her way out of jams all night long. Jennings, who singled on a deep fly ball off the wall back in the second, looking for another barrel. Inside 2-1, and you can see Wyckoff taking a huge secondary lead after every pitch. There's Hamlin, Coach Snyder all bundled to the left. Two and two the count to the freshman, with McKenna Mitchell's spot due up next. You have Armijo if you want to pinch hit, McClarity as well. Big 2-2 delivery, and it's a strikeout, and Maxwell's ninth and biggest. So a pair of bases loaded strikeouts for Kelly Maxwell, and it's Alana Barraza, who has had countless clutch at-bats throughout her 5 seasons in Lubbock. Barraza, who had a career-high 9 home runs a season ago. 1 this year. And a rare day off sets the stage with the bases loaded and 2 outs. First pitch, a letter-high strike. Just misses outside, and the zone has been tight all night long from Christina Drum. Red Raiders have loaded the bases without a hit, needing a big one to unload them. And Barraza takes a cut and falls behind 1-2. Kreitz waiting on deck if the inning continues here in the bottom of the 6th. Maxwell, the magician, works her way out of a bases loaded, no out jam by striking out the side. And top of the 7th inning, and Alyssa Brito leads it off for OU. Brito, Jennings, and Ludlam due up against Olivia Raines, who has put together some yeoman's work out of the bullpen. 3 innings, 1 run, working around 3 walks. This 2-step by Brito avoids the hit by pitch, and the count moves to 2-0. Brito 0 for 2 with a walk. But the damage has been done by the bottom of the lineup. Jennings in the 5 spot with 4 RBIs. Hansen with a home run in the 6th spot. And then the 8-hitter Torres with a solo shot in the 4th. As the last run scored today. 3-1 changeup in there for a strike. Pardon me, 3-0 changeup. Count now 3-1. Sent back up the middle. Moving to her left, Orick. Not in time. Brito will leg out the infield single to start the 7th. We'll see if the iPad comes out here. Very close play, and instead of Snyder talking to the umpire, it's Gasso coming out for presumably a pinch runner. As the captain and Tiare Jennings strides to the plate for a 4th at-bat.
Now batting for the Sooners, number 23, Tiare Jennings.
So Jennings takes low. Meanwhile, J.C. Hamlin will stay in the game for Villa in left. Pinch runner is announced, Maya Bland, the freshman. Jennings, again to center, and again a no-doubter. Well, she's got Lauren Chamberlain's record in sight in the 2-spot all-time, and Tiare Jennings continues her dominance here in Lubbock. So for the 4th time today, the Sooner fans can cheer following a home run here at Rocky Johnson. Olivia Raines searching for answers. Jennings with her 9th home run, trailing just Sanders and Love in the Big 12. Now we have a delay. Umpires, Christina Drum comes out. And every base was touched properly. So the home run stands, and the lead is 8-0. Riley Ludlam comes to the plate.
Batting for the Sooners, number 30, Riley
With nobody out in the 7th inning. Ludlam 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. A run in the 1st, another in the 2nd. And the 3-run blast by Jennings in the 3rd. Torres added another in the 4th. And Jennings double dipped here in the 7th as Oklahoma leads in a scoreline that doesn't quite feel representative of the tightness of this game, with Texas Tech and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th, nobody out. As Ludlam skies one foul, and now to play down the left field line. Count 2-2. Full count here from Raines. Payoff pitch to Ludlam. And it's fouled off. The walks have been the issue today. 8 of them worked by the Oklahoma hitters. Now, only 2 have scored, and that was back in the 3rd inning on the home run by Jennings with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Big take by Ludlam, and she'll work her 2nd walk. So the double play is in order here.
Batting for the Sooners, number 43, Quincy Lilio.
Quincy Lilio's spot in the lineup comes to the plate. Was wondering what kind of madness would be done. The stats are all mixed up with the change of Core and Parker. But it was Lilio who came in for Pickering in the 5th. Oh, great scoop up by Kreitz to keep the runner over at first base. See the light green ribbons and shoelaces for Texas Tech here on Mental Health Awareness Night. All weekend long, there will be speakers and seminars on campus that honor one of the more important causes. If you want to come to the ballpark as well tomorrow, the first 200 people get a Red Raider trading card. Alana Barraza due up tomorrow. I got to get my hands on one of those cards. Chastity Rains on Sunday as Lilio to center, right into the waiting grasp of Holloman. There's one out. Two hard-hit lineouts by Lilio. Their efforts will not be represented well on the box score. Hodge, who hit for Torres in her first at-bat, will now be re-entered for, and so Alina Torres, 1 for 2 with a solo shot, will re-enter and hit again.
Number 40, Alina Torres.
Right about at the 2-hour mark in this one, as Kelly Maxwell has lived up to the hype and continues to shut out Texas Tech, something she has done over the last 3 years, whether with Oklahoma State or Oklahoma. Ludlam stays at first. Count 2-0 here to Torres. Transferred from Arizona State a couple years ago. This one will get away from Kreitz. And once again, Ludlam elects not to get aggressive. This is a Sooner team that ran themselves out of 2 innings today. Change up on 3-0 keeps the at-bat alive. Oklahoma has done well to suffocate any momentum in this contest. Red Raiders threatened twice. Both times, Kelly Maxwell struck out the side. As Torres works the walk, and there are 2 on here with 1 out. Quick chat from Oric and Mitchell as Riley Boone's spot in the lineup is due up, and we'll see if Oklahoma once again goes to the bench. It will be Boone.
Riley Boone.
He's 0 for 3 today, an uncharacteristic 0 for Boone. First pitch in there for a strike from Rains, who has run into trouble here in her 4th inning of work out of the bullpen. Chopper off the glove and into center field, and Boone will pick up a hit. And an RBI to boot as Oklahoma leads 9-0. Everybody moves up. Ludlam comes in to score. Torres jogs to second. Jada Coleman, the 3rd plate appearance against Rains, 5th of the night. Another tremendous stop by Kreitz. Tech needs a ground ball at someone. As a change up in the zone, evens the count 1-1. Big swing on 2-1 there by Coleman. The count evens as Oklahoma has put up 3 here in the 7th inning. Texas Tech will have one last chance. We'll see Kreitz, Holloman, and Barnhart. Will count. Check swing, tails foul. Meanwhile, on the baseball side of things, Texas Tech leads 2-0 at Baylor. 5th inning there. Oklahoma down 3-2 at TCU. That would be a top 20 win for the Sooners. Coleman rips this to right. And another base hit for Jada Coleman. Throw home not in time, and Torres scores to give the Sooners 10. Second base hit for Coleman. Second run for Torres. We'll see if Rain stays out there.
Batting for the Sooners,
Sydney Sanders might be in a situation where she sees a pitch to hit. 4 at-bats, 4 walks. She'll take 1 and out. Double play still in order with Coleman over at first base. Texas Tech team that has turned 17 double plays to lead the nation. And there is one thing that the scoreline will not represent, and that is how stellar the Red Raiders defense has been tonight. From the freshman in Mitchell getting the opportunity just an hour before first pitch to make her second start. A couple assists off. Balls to the outfield to end the inning. This changeup up in the zone is called a strike. Count runs full here to Sanders. We have not seen Sydney Sanders make contact fair. There's an aggressive cut. When you're leading 10-0, let's see the National D1 Softball Big 12 Player of the Week take a hack here. Payoff pitch, grounded fair. Mitchell will go to first, and it is scooped up brilliantly by Barnhart. An RBI ground out by Sanders, and the lead is 11-0. Coleman will move to second as Boone comes in to score.
Batting for the Sooners, number 27.
0 for 1 night for Sydney Sanders will certainly look funny, but she is more than used to it. Meanwhile, Hannah Core, her second at bat today as she takes a strike on the outer half. Count 2-1 here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. As Olivia Raines hopes to shut down. But we'll have to wait a bit. Core picks up her second collegiate hit. The throw comes home and gets by Kreitz. But patient is Coleman with a lead of 11, and so she'll stay at third as Core moves up on the single here with 2 outs. And Oklahoma will hit around here in this 7th inning as Brito's spot comes back up. But it does not look like Alyssa Brito. So the pinch runner in Maya Brand, who scored the run on the home run by Jennings, will make a plate appearance here. 1 for 6 on the young season for Bland. Freshman outfielder who Willis 2-0, making her first relief appearance of the year. 12 strikeouts in 14 innings for the soft-throwing righty, who's looking to fool the defense with minded plate appearance from Maya Bland. 7th at-bat of the year, officially, with a couple walks for Bland. Take high 1-1. Oklahoma hits around here in this 7th inning. After Texas Tech had the bases loaded with no outs, down 6 in the 6th, and Maxwell turned on the afterburners. And this sold out Rocky Johnson field on this chilly Friday night. 1-2 it stays. 8-9-1 due up for Tech in the bottom of the 7th. Presumably against a bullpen arm after this lengthy top of the 7th. Can't imagine Maxwell will go back out there. Bland to center. This is well hit, and it caroms off the wall. 2 Sooners will score on Maya Bland's 2nd double of the year and her first hit in conference play. So the nightmare inning for Texas Tech continues with a 7 spot.
Batting for the Sooners, number 23, Tiara Jennings.
Tiara Jennings will look for a 3rd home run today. Something that Jocelyn Hollow did 2 years ago. To know the count from Willis. If I was Willis, I don't think I'd throw to Jennings either. Ludlam waits on deck. There's the 4-pitch walk, the 2nd earned by Jennings. She caps off a 3-for-3, 6 RBI game.
Batting for the Sooners, number 30, Riley Ludlam.
So it brings up Ludlam, 0 for 1 with a couple walks. Two and 1 the count to the Furman grad transfer catcher. Conference player of the year last season in the Southern. And this is inside, so Ludlam works the walk. 3rd walk worked by Ludlam. And Lilio will hit again this inning.
Batting for the Sooners, number 43, Quincy.
Bases are loaded.
Lilio.
Once again for Oklahoma with 2 outs. There's an important strike one from Willis. Going to the count. Left-handed hitting Lilio, who has a pair of lineouts. Torres waits on deck. As the 0-2 from Willis, this is high. Thirteenth hitter of the inning for Oklahoma. Count 2-2. Back at it tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The count runs full, so the carousel can start here in the 7th. Everybody moving on the 3-2, and it misses high, so Lilio works the RBI walk. Third consecutive walk issued by Willis.
Number 40, Alina Torres.
So Alina Torres will hit again this inning. Thirteen walks have been worked by Oklahoma here tonight. Oh-2 pitch, lifted to right. Elder makes a catch. And the 7th inning comes to a close. 8 runs scored by Oklahoma. And they'll strand the bases loaded. We head to the bottom of the 7th.
Fans, if we could have your...
The British right-hander transfer from Wisconsin will face a pinch hitter in Carson Armijo. Bottom of the 7th inning. Last ups for Tech as Kelly Maxwell's line reads 6 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. 2 hits allowed, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch as she looks to move to 8-0 on the season. Monticelli, who is a member of the Great Britain national team. The hardest thrower on this Oklahoma team, says Coach Gasso. Throws hard up in the zone. Can hit the high 60s. As Monticelli, with 11 2/3 innings, has allowed 1 run, 17 strikeouts, and 5 walks. 1 home run allowed for a .60 ERA. As all 6 Oklahoma pitchers have a sub-2 ERA this season. Meanwhile, Armijo, in her 3rd season in Lubbock, the transfer from UCLA. Just hitting under the Mendoza line, looking to pop herself back above 200. Hoping to provide a spark moving into Saturday. But a called strike 3 on the inner half freezes Armijo, and there's 1 out in the 7th. First strikeout for Monticelli. It brings up the freshman in Logan Halleman.
How batting for the Red Raiders, number 7, Logan Halleman.
Halleman, who has grounded out to the pitcher and catcher today, looks to bunt and take strike 1. Pulls 1 over to Lilio at second, and it's scooped up nicely by Sanders for the 2nd out. So we go to the top of the lineup, and the last chance here for Texas Tech is Aubrey Barnhart.
Batting for the Red Raiders, number 24, Aubrey Barnhart.
A couple ground outs and a strikeout for the Alabama transfer today. As Monticelli misses off the outer half, not by much. A reminder, we're back tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here on the Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Count 1-1. Again, I'm going to make my guess. I'm going to guess Nicole May against Maddie Keel. Tune in at 1 o'clock to find out. Make your guesses as well. Have a little bit of fun this weekend, why don't we? Just you and I. Ooh, Barnhart. It's hit up in the mask, and that's why you wear them. So a two-out base runner here for Tech. Not the most comfortable way to get on base. But Barnhart will reach.
Now batting for the Red Raiders, number 22,
We'll see her
J.C. Hamlin.
three-game home run streak come to a close as J.C. Hamlin makes her first plate appearance today. 2 for 5 on the season as she takes a strike. One strike away now for Oklahoma from starting conference play 4-0. And down goes Hamlin. So for the 35th